Thank you, sister, for such an inspiring message about doing good. And grace and peace to this day through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And now I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable into your sight, O God. Today we have the reading in Mark that takes us into the realm of, just a second. I have somebody who wants to come up, and he just wants to say hello. So you could look around a little bit, but you got to behave yourself, okay? Yeah, really? You're going to behave today? Yeah. Some have asked his name, or its name, I should say. Today, his name is going to be Theo. Two reasons. First of all, of course, theology. Theo, study of God. But secondly, my recent grandson's name is Theodore, and they call him Theo. So we're going to have Theo today. And Theo is, you like him? He's very happy because there's a lot of green today. Yeah, green. Oh, you like green, huh? Yeah, you like green, don't you? Yeah, green's your favorite color. Yeah. Well, green, there's a special message in green being the time for Pentecost. It's the time of growth. And in Florida, I noticed that the season tends to never stop. Especially this time of in the rainy season, my grass continues to grow. You could cut it, and before you're done, it's saying, I'm back. Yeah. So green is the favorite, Theo's favorite color. Yeah. Stop playing with the microphone. Yeah. Theo's, he wants to know if you're his friend. Yeah, are you his friend? Yeah. Okay, good. And why? Well, he believes that it's important to have friends. Don't you agree? Aren't they a nice relationship to have? And I'm not talking about the friends that just call you now and then and say hello, or I'm talking about the friends that you could really go to when the rubber hits the road, when you're really feeling like you're alone in the world, and you could go to this one friend and know that you're somebody. You know that you're somebody. One of the how many of you remember Dean Martin? Yeah. Theo doesn't remember Dean Martin. Well, let me tell you, Dean Martin was one of the best Italian singers. I grew up in Connecticut, so Italian voices were heard often. And he used to, I'll tell you what, you could really dance to Dean Martin, right? Yeah. Well, Dino, remember Dino? The name Dino? He had a wonderful song. I'm going to impersonate Dean Martin. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody loves someone sometime. And you see, that's important, because that's a friend. And when I talk about love, I'm talking more than the hot stuff, I'm talking about the caring, the intimacy, the ones you could trust when the world seems against you, the ones that you could go to and know that you'll be heard. And what are you looking at me for? Yeah. Well, he's trying to say that the friend often gives you understanding rather than advice. Does that make sense? Remember Job? Old Job? He had 3 good friends, didn't he? Yeah. What did they want to do all the time? Tell him what they should be doing. If you only did this, you wouldn't have this. But a true friend listens, hears you. And, all right. He says it's time for his nap. Good Lutheran. Well, there you go. And a good friend is someone you could trust. And today we have the law of the Sabbath. That comes to us through Deuteronomy. But there's one thing that I think we should understand. That when the Jews at that time referred to the Torah, the rule book, if you will, first 5 chapters of the Old Testament. Anybody can name them quick? Hey, I'll tell you what, you're 4 better than me. yeah. I got Genesis. Okay, there you go. I know Exodus is there somewhere. Anyway, my point is this, is that when the Jews referred to the Torah, they didn't really look at it as a rule book. They looked at it as a relationship. A relationship that stems from the revelation when God says, if you keep these commandments, I will be your God, and you will be my people. There's relationship there. And it's kind of like the divine friendship. I will be your God. I will listen to you, and you will listen to me. And together, we will be the light to all nations of the world. But, as Susan brought out, humankind has a way of distorting things, don't we? And we started making the law of relationship into a law of judgment. And hence the Pharisees understood this. When Jesus came, there was going to be a shift back. That the law of the Torah, now distorted by human weakness, is going to be restored back to what I believe is the original intent of the relationship with God. Jesus is giving us a new way to relate to God. Not by keeping the rules, but by faith. But it's important to know that the Sabbath was set aside for one day, for a purpose at that time, so that people would remember. And we would be brought to a time of gracious thanksgiving, understanding the grace of God, and how the people were delivered. The people were delivered by God's love, caring, and compassion. And he comes with this wonderful statement that the Sabbath was made for us and not us for the Sabbath. In a sense that the understanding of the Sabbath, the day to keep holy to God, was not made for us as a rule, but as a way of relationship, regeneration, knowing a God who listens to our hurts, shares our joys, lives with us. And it's important for us to keep that. And then, of course, the second part of the readings today is the person with the withered hand and how Jesus heals. And I got to say, God works in strange ways. I was sitting up there, and I looked up, permit me, no more pasta today, no. Okay, and I found this. Did Pastor Tate use this lately? Yeah. But I got to thinking. I did Dino, right? Well, let's do it. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got you and me in his hands. He's got the whole world. I couldn't have planned that any better. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. World in his hands. And that's important for us to know. That's important for us to know because you have the whole world in your hands, didn't you? And I do, and you do. Yeah, you see, that's the glory of God. That's the glory of the Sabbath. The Sabbath is this relationship with God. And it's not just used for a rule where you have to be here. You have to do this. I bet you many of us gathered here because we really want to be here. We want to sing our praise. We want to feel the joy. And we know we could be heard here in our prayers, in our songs, in our wonderful sharing. You know, there are times when I come to church and I feel like I can't sing a word. Something's got me. Something's got me. But then I hear the voices of my sisters and brothers. And I truly feel that God is using them, you, to sing for me. And there's times I'll be singing for you. But the thing is the healing power of God, as we see in the man with the withered hand. Jesus is not limited by rules and regulations, but only by compassion. Only by compassion. And with that sharing, with that caring, we know, we trust this relationship. Because God has the whole world in his hand. Now, if you're looking for a rule, let me give it to you. Keep the Sabbath holy, but keep it in a way that I believe reflects Jesus. When you see somebody in need, care for them. When you see somebody hungry, feed them. When you see somebody thirsty, give them drink. And when you feel isolated and alone, find someone to share the love of God. Because that's when we know this relationship never ends and the healing continues. Because he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Amen.